Hello, Christopher Carlson here again, and I would like to take some time to talk about my 3 lessons that I chose from my portfolio, and I'll go ahead and reflect on them as well. Okay, well, first take a look here at the 3rd grade lesson, which is Language Arts Lesson Plan, and this one I had to really redevelop because of time. It just took too long to do all the things I wanted to do. So we'll take a look really fast at our lesson plan. And it's called Google Detective Training Lesson, not a sketch in time anymore because I had to really break it down in 2 lessons. And so the first lesson, we'll go straight down to the good stuff here. The first lesson is just going step by step through the search process. And the big difference, of course, is finding the appropriate image that is licensed under Creative Commons. And the students did very good with this, but this is one of these lessons where structure and just doing it step by step, finding a good pace for the whole class to be successful at is by far the most important. Now, I find when I do it in the first 2 parts, that we're getting pretty much all the way down just to getting one image, and that's it, without actually being able to put it into something like Sketch or Comic Life. Okay, and it ends here with logging off. And as you can see, I've now added the second extension, part 2, down here where they apply it into Sketch and use the annotations that Sketch has to offer. And that's a very useful lesson. So the lesson started out with me somewhat scrambling at the end, trying to get them on the sketch, which was very frustrating because here we spend 40 minutes of the hour just trying to get the images, but sketch also takes some time to get to know and get used to, especially when selecting an annotation, moving it around, and re-editing it. That takes some practice. So I would have liked more time for that. The 1-hour lessons are difficult and take some practice in developing them to see really what a 3rd grader can do in an hour is important. And I probably could have done more shadowing on this in the beginning, but I found it I found it helpful just to talk to the other instructional technology teachers about how really to utilize the time in the best way. Okay, so now let's take a look. We'll come back over here. And I also have the presentation. Okay, this is an option for those who like to use one specific place to find images and Common Creations, Creative Commons licensed images or video or audio. This is a very good source to use. It's called Wikimedia Commons, and I've made just a very quick 4-slide presentation on really how that works. Very simple as well. Okay, the next lesson is my 4th-grade lesson. This is a language arts lesson plan. Researching insects, a comical experience. And this is the one that I prepared with Bill Ernst. And this one as well was difficult to do in 1 hour. The students really enjoyed using Comic Life. We found it difficult to be really on the right place when it was time to open Comic Life because of the possibility of opening up my connections. My folders, I think it is. Or my comics. And so that kind of threw us off a little bit. But once we got into the run of things, all the students were able to open that up properly. Okay, so the lesson plays just like the other one, step by step in searching. Here's that presentation I was just showing you. I use it for this one as well. And very good lesson. The 4th-graders were able to pick it up a little faster and get actually 4 images, because really once you get one, just hitting the back button and getting 4 off that same search page where it's free to use or share, no problem. And down here, finding the colors and selecting things was probably the hardest part, and just getting to this part could have been very difficult because of the operations that it takes. So once again, a great hour and a half lesson. By getting it down to an hour, still there might be a little bit too much content based in this part right here. All right. Okay. This is 3rd through 12th grade, getting started with Google Lesson Plan. And this is the one that I wrote up. It was the first observation lesson that I did. But it's also a lesson that I developed on the back of Bill McKee, and it was watching him teach the lesson where I pretty much took the steps from. So let's go and check this one out. This was designed, as all of them were, in Screen Steps. And as you can come down here, we can once again see the play-by-play of logging in, doing the password. And really, infrastructure is the most important part of this. You know, making sure that your online connections are good and healthy. A lot of times we would do these on laptops. Totally impossible to do on iPads because you have to sync your password. And that is coming up. Here it is. Here's that step that you cannot do with iPads. Just good to know. Okay, so I try to do it as specific as possible to each and every little step. Here we're talking about the hard drives. And I'd say the most positive part about this lesson is watching the teachers light up when you talk about some of the things you can do with when they're using their Google Docs for writing, for language arts, for science, or math. Your ability to go in and comment and have students check in their homework immediately once it's signed in or handed out is a fantastic tool to be able to use. Okay, so the lesson worked out good. This is a pretty straightforward lesson and one that fits into an hour very nicely. And if there's any extra time going through at this part right here when we create a document and we share it, as you see here, this part, having the kids explore a little bit, is really nice. So that's it. I've already talked for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So here are some presentations I've also included that go along with the lesson plans. Some of these I did not create. I think actually I had my hand in I think in all of these. Yeah. So I know that Bill Ernst helped with the I can statement here. But thank you for listening.